everyone. Tonight we're making an Australian classic known as spag bol. One of the go-tos, nice and easy to make and always nice and warming and hearty. What we're going to need tonight is some salt and pepper, some crushed garlic, some chopped onions, some tinned tomatoes, a little bit of the tomato paste, a glass of wine, well there's a bottle there because I'm going to drink the rest of it. Then we've got some olive oil, some free-range beef mince, and because I'm using beef, I've got some beef stock as well. It's a very easy recipe, something that we'll go to, and it'll take about an hour to cook out, but the actual putting together is very, very simple. Hope you enjoy. Okay, we start by putting a little bit of the olive oil into a heavy base pan, and we allow that to start to get nice and warm. That there's the wine for me. And to make sure that I don't mix them up, that's the wine for the cookie. Because I don't drink out of plastic cups, not unless you're desperate anyway. Alright, sometimes I'll even drink out of the bottle. So, once that gets a bit warm, throw in your onions. Start to mix them through. Now remember, the onions is all about getting them just soft. We don't want to throw the garlic in just yet because garlic doesn't take anywhere near as long as onions. Hold on a second, just making sure the wine's still good. It oxidizes if you leave it for too long. So then that way, we do this. Mix him, you know, I like the Italian sausage, but we're going to make it the bolognese, but we call it spag bol in Australia. Like we call it chicken parmigiana, chicken parmy. We cut everything. As you can see, it's starting to get nice and soft now. What we call translucent. Throw in my garlic. Without the garlic, you got enough flavor. Fat and the garlic. You need a both to make it nice and tasty. As you can see, it's jumping around a little bit there, but that's okay. Another 30 seconds or so. And then what we'll do is we add in our beef. Now I get my beef straight from the farm. Don't muck around if I can. I mean, at the moment with lockdown, there's not much we can do because we can't go to the farm right now. So it is what it is. Okay, now we mix that through. So what we're just trying to do is a little bit of colour on the meat. Now I'll turn it down a little bit. Don't want to burn anything. So we get a nice little bit of a brown, just to sort of seal it off. You don't want to be adding everything in and it's still raw, totally raw. So I'm just picking up, scraping off the bottom, making sure nothing sticks. As you can hear there, I've just turned it down a little bit. It's about halfway now. So mixing, just check it, the wine's still good. She's beautiful. As you can see there, it's starting to take a little bit of colour now. Just break it down to smaller bits. Just turn up my heat that little bit. Remember, that's the good thing about gas. That's why you're cooking with gas. Okay. And now that it's taken a little bit of colour, I'll add in my tin of tomatoes. These are just baby tomatoes. Sorry, cherry tomatoes. Crush them through. So now it's getting a little bit wet. Goes through. In goes. Should I put in my wine first? In goes the wine. Smelling beautiful. So that's that there. Now in goes my stock de boeuf, or as we know it in Australia, beef stock. As you can see there, it's fairly watery, but that's okay because we're going to cook it out for about an hour. 45 minutes to an hour until it gets nice and thick. And the pasta resistance, I'll translate it into English, the secret ingredient. A little bit of a couple tablespoons of tomato paste. This is going to be nice and tomatoey. Thanks to none of my sponsors, because I've got no sponsors. But hey, I use it anyway. This is how we eat. Mix him through. Turn it down, because now all I want to do is cook this out for the next hour or so. So I'm not going to, back over here, salt and pepper. Just want it to be boiling nice and gently. Don't want it to be boiling hard, because otherwise it'll burn. So now that that's, let's check that wine again. Yeah, still good. Hasn't oxidized yet. Just got to be really careful because if you leave it for more than 5 minutes, it oxidizes. There we go. And now I'm going to cover it and just let it cook out. And we'll come back to it in a little while. Okay, 45 minutes later, still a little bit more cooking out. So I've taken the lid off, so I'm just going to let it now boil out so this can evaporate. And then I'm going to start my pasta at the same time. So I've got my water started there now. And that's going to start boiling. And I'm going to whack my pasta in. Don't forget salted water, yeah? Always salted water. And about 10 minutes later, it's ready pretty much. Here we go. It's now going to be turned off because the pasta's almost ready. So time to do a little bit of a taster tester. That way we can adjust it for any salt, pepper. No need to adjust it for anything. Perfect. Can't wait.